So you're thinking about the Sony MEX-N5300BT, a Bluetooth car stereo with a great price and a 4.5-star rating on Amazon. But here's what surprised me. After weeks of testing, I found critical problems that no one is talking about. Therefore, if you are about to buy this, you need to watch this first. For the best price, click the link in the description. This isn't your typical review. It's an honest breakdown of the frustrations hidden behind those shiny features. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly why this deck might not be the upgrade you're hoping for. Let's start with the good, because Sony gets a lot right on paper. This unit is packed. For around $158, you get built-in Bluetooth for hands-free calls and audio streaming, which is basically mandatory now unless you enjoy finds more than music. You get a CD player, which in 2024 feels like finding a VHS tape in a Netflix queue. Nostalgic, but why? It also boasts Sirius XM readiness and an FM radio with RDS for song info. The headline feature is the dual Bluetooth connection, letting you pair two phones simultaneously. Great for couples or rideshare drivers, in theory. And there's a two-zone illuminator to match your car's dashboard lights. On the surface, it sounds like a feature-rich steal. But here's the first major therefore moment. The setup and installation promise simplicity, but the manual might as well be written in ancient runes. It's not plug-and-play for many vehicles. You'll likely need a wiring harness adapter, a dash kit, and possibly a steering wheel control interface if you want to keep those buttons working. That $158 price can quickly balloon by another $50 to $100. That's a hidden tax they don't advertise on the main product page. Now let's talk about the core experience, the Bluetooth. Pairing is straightforward, I'll give it that. But the audio streaming quality over Bluetooth is where we hit our first big problem. For a brand like Sony, known for great sound, the default audio processing is oddly flat and compressed. It lacks the punch and clarity you'd expect. There's a huge equalizer with multiple bands to tweak, which is powerful. And this is a massive, but navigating that EQ while driving is an exercise in frustration. The menu system is slow and clunky. You'll spend more time looking at the deck than the road, which defeats the entire hands-free safety premise. Speaking of safety, the hands-free calling. This is a major selling point, right? Stay legal, talk safely. Therefore, I tested it on highways in the city with the windows down. The microphone quality is not great. Callers consistently said I sounded distant, muffled, or like I was in a wind tunnel. We're not talking about a subtle issue. For a primary safety feature, it's underwhelming. It's like having a seatbelt made of licorice. It's there, but you don't really trust it. Okay, time for a joke to lighten the mood. Trying to use the voice commands on this unit is like asking a grumpy cat to fetch your slippers. It might listen, but the disdain is palpable, and the results are questionable at best. Now the physical design and that two-zone illumination. It looks sleek in the pictures. In person, the plastic feels a bit cheap, but that's forgivable at this price. The illumination feature, however, is a gimmick. The colors don't blend seamlessly with most dashboards. It's more like a slightly off-tone beacon, reminding you it's an afterthought. It's the automotive equivalent of mood lighting in a portable toilet. Unnecessary and vaguely confusing. Let's move to the radio and Sirius XM. The FM tuner is average. It picks up stations fine. But the Sirius XM ready tag is misleading. It doesn't mean it has Sirius XM built in. It means you can connect an external Sirius XM tuner module, which is another separate purchase and a tangle of wires. If you're buying this thinking you're getting satellite radio out of the box, you're in for a disappointment. That's a classic case of marketing speak hiding an extra cost. And the CD player. In an age of streaming, it's a space waster. I'd trade it in a heartbeat for faster processing power or wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which this unit glaringly lacks. This brings me to the biggest therefore of this review. In 2024, the absence of smartphone projection is a fatal flaw for many users. For a similar price, you can find units from brands like JVC or Pioneer that offer full Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, often wirelessly. These systems mirror your phone's apps, real navigation with Google Maps or Waze, seamless Spotify control, quality messaging, all through a superior, familiar interface. The Sony feels outdated without it. It's trying to be a smartphone with its own slow OS, but your actual smartphone is infinitely smarter. Time for joke number 2. Using the Sony's interface after using CarPlay is like going from a self-driving Tesla back to a horse and buggy. Sure, the buggy has a fancy new cup holder, but you still have to clean up after the horse. Let's dive into the top reviews. Amazon shows a 4.5-star average, which seems stellar. But when you read the critical 3 and 4-star reviews, a pattern emerges. People mention the confusing menu, the subpar call quality, the cheap-feeling buttons, and the loud whirling sound of the CD mechanism. The 5-star reviews often praise the basic features and price, but the problems are there, buried in the details. They're the quiet frustrations you live with, wondering if you got a lemon, but no, it's just the product. Here's a mini promise. I'm about to tell you who this might still be okay for, and it's a very narrow group. Therefore, if you have a very old car with a basic radio, crave a CD player, and just want basic Bluetooth streaming for music only, this could work. If you never make calls while driving and don't care about modern navigation, it functions. But for almost everyone else, the problems outweigh the value. Joke 3. The dual phone feature is perfect if you and your passenger both want the disappointment of poor call quality. It's a shared experience. So what's the resolution? What should you do instead? My honest recommendation is to look at the competition. For that $158 price point, plus the extra installation costs you'd need for the Sony, you can often find open box or sale-priced models from JVC, Kenwood, or Pioneer with smartphone integration. Spend a little more time researching models with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in the title. The user experience is light years better, the sound processing is often superior, and the safety features actually work. If you are dead set on the Sony brand, look at their slightly higher-end models in the XAV series, which do include CarPlay. It's worth the upgrade to avoid the daily friction of the MEX-N5300BT. Before we wrap up, joke 4. Buying this head unit hoping for a seamless modern experience is like buying a treadmill and using it as a very expensive coat rack. The intention is good, but the reality is a compromise that nags at you every single day. In conclusion, do not buy the Sony MEX-N5300BT if you value intuitive controls, clear phone calls, or modern smartphone integration. The high rating is misleading, masking fundamental flaws in daily usability. It's a product trying to bridge two eras and falling into the gap between them. You deserve a head unit that feels like an upgrade, not a sideways step into frustration. Therefore, save yourself the hassle. For a better choice and the best price on a more capable stereo, click the link in the description below. I've linked some alternatives that offer true modern value. Thanks for watching.